Hello, and welcome back to the Alteryx Weekly Challenge from me and the Big Nord. This is challenge number 136, and it's Cleudo. This should be fun. So here we have the case of Mr. Body, who was recently on a trip to London, and he unfortunately met his untimely demise. A whodunit of such. So we have to answer three questions based around the clues that we've been given. And anyway, let's go to the start file, and you'll see what I mean. So here we have the selection. So we've got three questions, and we've got some text inputs for each of the questions. So question 1, question 2, question 3, and it's who is the culprit, what is the weapon, and where is the scene of the crime, and some instructions on how best to look at it. So Mr. Body was a bit of a scoundrel, had previously wronged 6 different people. So according to the text message history, he was scheduled to meet up with all 6 of the people during his time in London, and using these information from the text message to determine the date and time of each proposed rendezvous. The prime suspect will be the one with the meeting scheduled to occur closest to and before the date and time of the murder. The body was discovered at around 3 p.m. on the 7th of October 2018. Okay, so we can, if we look in the answers, you basically put in the answers here, right? So scene of the crime, who is the culprit, and the weapon by the looks of it. Okay, so we need to choose them once we've worked out who it is. Okay, there is a hint here. I've not opened that, so we'll leave that for now because it says only if you are stuck. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one. So we have some data here. So we've got the date of the text message. So we want to be looking at prime suspect will be the one with a meeting scheduled to occur closest to and before time and date of the murder. So we've got from and to, an ID, and we have the message here that we've got. It looks like I will meet you. So this is a meeting. Here is a meeting. Looks like here is another meeting, and they're all in the same kind of format, which is nice. Okay, and then what we've got over here is the telephone numbers of the individuals. Okay, so right, let's see if we can get this to work. Okay, so I think we need to join the two together, and we've got the telephone numbers, but this is in a different format. So I think we're going to need to. Anyway, let's see if we can work this out. So this is in. It's got a plus and spaces in there. I think we can use a data cleansing tool to clean that up. So we can get rid of duplicate white spaces, all white space, get rid of that. How do you get rid of pluses? That's the question. Oh, we just want to do it on the phone name. I don't know if a plus is a letter or punctuation. Let's try on punctuation and see what we get. Well, it's gone. So I'm assuming it's punctuation. That's good. So that does it nicely. So we should now have it. I've just realised these are supposed to be mobile numbers. Those of you that live in London or in the UK will know that this is not a mobile number but a landline. But you'd have to live in the UK, I guess, to understand that. Anyway, mobile numbers in the UK generally start with a 7 after the 44. 2 indicates London, and 7 indicates central London. So 207 is a central London landline. Anyway, okay, so let's have a look at this. So we've got that in the right thing, so we can just join that, I think. So I think we'll join it first on the from. So phone number and the message from, and that should give us everything. Oh, I didn't like that. Now, why didn't it like that? String fields can only be joined to other string fields. Ah, this is not a string field. So what have we got in here? So we've got a string here and an integer down here. Message from. Okay, so then we need to change it. I think we can just change it with a select and change this to be an integer. Okay, so run that. There we go. So we now have the name and the phone number, which matches over here, and the message to. Did we get anything come out the left side? No, that's good. Nothing out the right side. Good, good, good. So let's join again on the. We want to call this. I think what we want to do is call this. We don't need the phone number again, and on the left side we'll say from. Okay, so we now know who that is from, and then or the phone number it's from. And if we do that again, and we bring in it again here, what we can do is the to message to and the we don't want that from, got that the wrong way around, haven't we? So we want the, let's delete that again, start again. We want the that side on there and that side there. Okay, so we want the, instead of the, we want to join on the phone number, but we want to do it on the message to, and we want to change the name, get rid of the phone number again, and this is the to. Okay, so we run that. Now we have the to, from, in terms of the name. Okay, so that gives us and then the message ID and then the message in here. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. Now we just probably want to work out all of these. If we pull out who the culprit is, I'm thinking we can just bring in this, because some of them are from and some of them are to. So if we just bring in this extra field and we'll call it culprit, and what we can do is do a nice little if statement. So if to, well, we want the to equals, what's his name, body, let's bring it in actually, Bennett body, so we just copy that as. So if we put that in there, then we want to take it from the from, else the to. And that should give us a nice list of the culprits. Okay, let's run that. Okay, so we now have a list of anybody who's on the other side of the message that's not Bennett body. Okay, so what we now do, I think, is filter, given that we know the syntax of this date of the meeting of rendezvous, is to take the message and contains, I'm thinking Oct, they're all in October. Let's have a look what that gives us. There you go, look, these messages are just that. So if we sort that, that should then give us the, we can sort by the message and we'll make it descending, so we'll have the latest at the top. Yeah, we don't need to convert this to a date because it's kind of in kind of order. Now the thing is though, we wanted the murder was it was 3 p.m. or 1500 on the 7th, so that would make it this one being the last message or the last rendezvous before his demise. So Paul Plum is the potential. So I wonder if we can just put that in, culprit Professor Paul Plum. Okay, let's put that in there, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, and then what we want to do is look at question 2. So what was the weapon? You have obtained a list of all the credit card purchases made by each of the 6 initial suspects. Pass the data even in the summary text file. So there's the data in it. Oh. So we've got okay, this needs to be split, passed out. Let's do that initially. And we can pass that with a text to columns, and we'll just put a pipe in there. Looks like it's delimited by pipe. I think it was a load of columns. Not enough columns by the looks of it, because we've still got more to do, but we may not need more. Store ID. Okay, let's just up that a few and see what we need. Okay, that's better. Oh, yeah, more than we wanted. Okay, so we've got card type, store ID. So what we've got in here is store ID, ID, and card type, and then it's got what the item. So this ID must refer to the item ID. So we can join on those things. So if we do that, and we want to join on, no, wait a minute. Those credit card details is not the full. It's not the full number. Okay, so let's see if we can create from here. We want to find a match on the credit card number. So we want to take the left and the right for. Okay, so let's create a credit card number. So I'm wondering if we can just overwrite the one we've got, and we want to take. So we want the. How do we want to do this? Think about this. Okay, yeah. So let's just put it in brackets so we know what we're doing, and we do left string length. So we want to take the credit card number, and the length is 4 digits. And okay, and then we want to plus. Now, what was it? How many is it on this side? It looks like it's 8. So we want 8 X's. And then plus, maybe we don't need the brackets anymore, so right. And the string is the credit card number again, and it's 4. Now that should, okay, so we're gonna have to call this something else. We'll call it credit card alias. Okay, just want for because it's we need it to be a string. Okay, right. That's more, oh, it still doesn't like it. What is wrong with it? Number provided where a string is required. So I wonder if we can actually just convert this to a string first. So let's do that. Yeah, it's an integer, so let's make it a string. Okay, that should fix it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And on here we can now match the alias number with, what field is it? We need to make this the first row of the title. That's easily enough done. Take fields from the first row of title. Okay, and then in here, let's just run this. It's going to fail, but we want to refresh that. Okay, so we want to then take the card number. Okay, let's run that. Now it says to isolate the purchase made by the credit card number of card number and the purchase details to identify them as a weapon of choice. So filter the credit card number for the suspect identified in question 1. Okay, so we need to find credit card details for, here we are, credit card holder name. So for Paul, what do we call it? Who's it? Paul Plum. Let's just pull that. Okay, so we can filter that. On Paul Plum. So we take the holder's name, put that in there, and go for that. Okay, so this just gives us Paul Plum's transactions, item, laundry detergent, tea, mascara, tissue, perfume, duvet, crystal candlestick, wow, sunglasses, bracelet, shoe, light bulb, toothbrush, magazine. Okay, so what we've got is candlestick, knife, pipe, revolver, wrench. So it was crystal candlestick, which is interesting. I think that would be the one. There's no others in there. There's enough of them just to check, so we will go with that. I guess we could do a lookup with these as a so we'll go with candlestick, and then the final one is where is the scene of the crime. Okay, so we have to find out, detectives have been able to determine Mr. Body's various locations throughout the base day on the collection of photos from his Instagram post. These are determined which are likely scene of the crimes, and basically within 1 kilometer radius of the point of discovery. Okay, so we can do that. That's spatial. So we bring in a point for that one, and it's already going to create as a lat long, and then we want a trade area of 1 kilometer, so radius in 1 kilometer. Okay, and then from here we want to create the points again from the Instagram, where we got lat long there as well. So let's just bring that in, and then we just look at a spatial match. So if we bring in that and that, so maybe we want to do it the other way around. Doesn't really matter, I think, but we'll just swap them around. Okay, so we want to see where intersects, contains universe, touches or intersects. I'll just pick that one and then run it. And what do we get? Tower Bridge. Looks like it's Tower Bridge. Okay, so body was discovered near to Tower Bridge. Oh, the location of discovery. Hold on. Discovery. We want. Usually helps if I have it connected to the right ring. It will match if it's. There you go. Right. Okay, that's a bit better. Let's see what now. Nothing. So we have all of these locations, but they don't seem to be within. Let's have a look. This is on the map. So reunion them all together. So discussion that long, and this one, I think we just bring in a browse and see what that looks like. Okay, well we do get one match. Why is that not working then? Is that because it's intersects? Oh, I was selecting the wrong one, that's why. I want the trade area. Okay, that makes more sense now. Right. Here we go. So it's Quarter Bar and Lounge. which on the map is, zoom in, just on the south of the river near Borough Market, just right next to London Bridge Station. Okay, so therefore we are going to go with that. Quarter bar and lounge. That's how they've been there. Okay, quarter bar and lounge. Okay, run that. And what do we get? Correct! It was Professor Plum in the lounge with the candlestick. Bravo. There you go. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. See you again next time.